All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Tuesday at 10. Golly, we're already at the end of January. It's hard to believe. Next week we'll already be kicking off February. So, gonna wrap up the first month of the year here with a great meeting. Let's go ahead and get started. What do you guys got going on? Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule. Let's start with some wins. What do you guys got going? Liz, how's everything going? Got some good stuff in the works. Tell us about it.
I got a new listing and it went live last week in Stone Oak. Um,
Awesome.
I didn't have any showings over the weekend. I think you guys, the weather did not cooperate. So I am doing an open house this coming weekend with the weather permitting. I'm excited about that one. These are actually, um, I helped the buyers. I helped the sellers buy this a couple of years ago, and they were anxiously waiting for a home to come out for sale in a certain gated community in Stone Oak, and it came out for sale, and they went and hurried and bought that one because they don't last very long in that little tiny community, and they're excited. They're happy. They renovated it a little bit, so they made it a little bit more modern, and we just have to put the good vibes into it, right? And know that it'll hopefully sell quick.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
Liz, let us know. I have a buyer that's looking in the Stone Oak area, so let me know
Sure.
that address before
Yeah,
we
this
go.
week I'm gonna do the whole social media thing. I haven't gotten there yet, so I'm working on that and start sharing it and posting it into multiple different groups, and we'll see. We'll cross our fingers on that one. And I have that other listing that's by the airport. That one's moving slow, but the seller is not in a huge rush to sell that one, so that's brewing. And I have several buyers right now that I'm working with in the next couple of months. So it's looking busy, and it's good staying in touch with them weekly. So
Great.
yeah.
Great,
Great.
great. Good to hear. Good to hear. And Daniel, what do you got going on in your neck of the woods? How's everything going with you?
Good, good. About to leave here in about 30 minutes or so to head to go show. I have to show 6 homes. So and then showed that client 5 yesterday, so I'm hoping he decides on one. Have an offer out right now, about to hopefully get an agreement by today as well on that. So things are going. Things are going. It's just a matter of keeping with it.
Yeah, good, good. And Josie, how's everything going with you? What are some wins? What are some good stuff you got going in your neck of the woods in your business?
It's going good. The buyers are coming out of the woodwork. The ones that were like, oh, we're gonna wait till the rates drop, or oh, we're gonna wait till next year. Those group of people, I'm like, now's your time to shine. I have some really strong buyer clients that are currently looking. We haven't really made an offer on anything yet. They're very particular about what they're looking for. But the good thing is they're noticing that the homes are not lasting as long as they used to. So they're starting to kind of see that pattern. So they're becoming a little bit more aggressive in what they're looking for, ready to make a move when they do find what they're trying to find. So that's good. It's always nice when they kind of see it. They're like, hey, that we noticed that the houses, every time we are interested in a home, it's already under contract, and it's like, yeah, things are moving a lot faster than they used to. So it's good lighting some fire under people, getting people to take some action, which is great, and finding the perfect home for them. So it's awesome.
Good, good, good. Well, good to hear. Well, hey Jennifer, how are you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we're going over some wins. We're going over some good stuff going on in everyone's business. How's everything going with you? What do you got going on? Anything good? How's everything? Tell us.
I have, I'm always following up with any kind of contacts I can get. We have the closing in on February 9th, so that's good. But I'm trying to find my next opportunity, so working on that.
Well, that's good. I mean, I think we're all always looking for the next opportunity. You know what I mean? They always say your most important deal is not the one you have, but it's your next one. So
And
That's the name of
Jennifer,
the
just
game. I mean, we wake up looking for the next opportunity too. So you're not alone. Josie, did you have something to add?
yeah, and Jennifer, she's really new and she's kicking butt, like she's had so many, so much experience. She's had, contracts go, properties go under contract, all these things. And she's kicking butt because I know some real estate agents that they've been an agent for 1 or 2 years and they don't have nearly as much experience as Jennifer's had in these past few months. So Jennifer, you're kicking butt. You're doing awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate
Great job,
that.
Jennifer.
And
Thank you.
I know Jennifer's had some obstacles, but nobody is immune to those obstacles. And real quick, I'll tell y'all a story of an obstacle that I ran into in the last 2 days. So I had a client. We had put in an offer on a house. They were ready to close. They were actually wanting to close at the end of this week. And they called me over the weekend and they said, "We want to go see some more houses." I said, "Oh my gosh, we're supposed to close in 5 days." And they said, "Yeah, but we're still looking around. We want to see if we like something more." So I said, "Okay." Set up the showings. Now, one of the particular showings, this was on Sunday, I believe, and we were just showing that one house. I pull up to the house and they're already in the house with another agent. After we're submitting offers, I had a buyer rep in place. We were getting ready to close, and they're inside this house when I drive up with another agent. So I said, "Well, here we go. Let's time to start the engines, right?" So I get out and I say, "Hey guys, what's going on? What's what's happening here?" And they come out and they say, "Well, we've known this guy for a long time, and he called us out of the blue, and he said he was available." And I said, "Well, I said I was available. I booked the showing for you. I told you it was confirmed. I told you I was going to be here at 3 o'clock." And they said, "Yeah, well, he said he could be here at 2. So we met him here at 2." And I said, talk about an awkward conversation after this guy left. I said, "Guys, well, what are we going to do? Are y'all going to move on with this other gentleman, which he was a real nice guy. I don't have anything bad to say about him. I talked to him out there. I said, are we going to move forward together?" I thought I was showing you guys a high level of service. I was being attentive. I was really trying to make everything happen for you guys. And they said, "Well, we're going to stick with you, Alan." I said, "Great, great. Well, we have a buyer rep in place and, we're ready to go. If y'all like this one, let me know." Well, guess what? Today's Tuesday and I've heard crickets from them. So, Jennifer, you've gone through a lot of stuff. We all go through a lot of stuff. Oh, and then on top of that, I had another showing with another client who was a no call, no show. No call, no show. Waited there for 25 minutes for him. Called him 4 or 5 times. No answer. Text, email, nothing.
Yeah, so I think this goes to show, Alan and I, we've sold well over 75 million worth of property, and we still get shit on the regular.
Yeah,
So,
it's true.
and we want to let you guys know because you can't feel bad about it. We've all been fired. We've all been no-showed. We've all been, oh, my cousin's an agent. You know, don't worry about it. You just need to move on. And
It's character building.
it really is. It really is. I have super thick skin now. I really do, you know, and I used to feel terrible about certain things. And now I'm like, all right, let's go. What are you going
On
to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
on to the
Yeah.
next one. Yeah, on to
So
the
keep
next.
that in mind. And it's a hard business and people really don't care about you all that much. So keep that in mind, and all we can do is do our best and the clients that are meant for us are going to stick with us. So
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, I
great
just
story,
wanted
Al.
just wanted to throw that little anecdote out. It's this business is a challenge. It's not for the weak. It's not for the weak at heart. It's not for the weak of stomach. You know what I mean? It can put you to the test. So all we can do is move forward. And the only cure for these rough experiences is what? More leads. That's the only thing that can fix these scenarios because deals fall apart. Josie and I know when Daniel and I's deals fell apart 2 days before closing. The buyer just changed their mind, didn't care if they lost their earnest money. We had been under contract well over 60 days, and he said, I don't want to buy it. And that was that.
Like
What are you supposed to do?
there's sometimes like things happen, to you, to Daniel, to me, or whatever, that makes me like physically sick. Because I'm just like, why, how can people treat other people this way sometimes? And then Alan just reminds me like, it's fine. You just got to brush it off, move on to the next one. But you learn in the process, and you learn how to tailor your service to people, and it makes you a better agent in the long run. It's like it's the diamond under pressure. It's the rock, and it just applies pressure and pressure and pressure until it turns into a diamond. So it's everybody goes through it. Everybody has their really rough experiences with people, and I know sometimes it's hard for me, where I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can keep running into people like this. And it's just like, okay, I'm just under pressure. I'm just under pressure. And we just got to keep moving forward. So, um, it's just more leads,
Yeah.
which is a great segue to Alan's training today.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the fact that not only do more leads cure everything that goes on in real estate. So there's two things that can cure issues in real estate: more leads or more agents. You know what I mean? One of our mentors, his motto is people move the money. You know what I mean? So if you're looking at how to overcome these obstacles, you can either focus on generating more business, generating more leads, or attract more people, because people can be a cure for that too. But that's not really what we're talking about today. I want to segue into our little training segment. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. And actually, this can apply to attracting people as well. But this is what I really want to focus on today: the true reality of what this business is. This is a numbers game. I never wanted to accept that as a new agent. I felt like there was always something missing. I felt like there was always something that I was waiting for, that magic bullet in real estate. And I sought it out. I went to high level coaching, I went to trainings, I hired business coaches. I had business coaches that would help us out for free in return for, sending them business. And the message was always the same. It's about numbers. It's about conversations. It's about followers. It's about your audience. And that's what we're talking about today. Talent doesn't build real estate businesses. Audience does. If you don't have people following you, trusting you, and hearing you consistently, you're just a secret agent, hoping that someone finds you. And here's spoiler alert: no one's going to find you. Nobody. Because everybody knows 5 to 10 people that are agents. Just like Daniel said, they got cousins, they have an aunt, they have a mother-in-law that's a hobbyist that sells one house every 3 years, that doesn't know anything new going on, and they still think it's 1994 because that was the last time they sold a house. Years in the business does not equate to expertise in the business. So, with that being said, we need to find a way to increase our numbers. Going back to Jennifer is one of my mentees. I talk to her about this all the time. I talk to Daniel. I have to talk to myself about this. I have to psych myself out because this is the reality. We need to gain an audience, we need to increase our reach. And here's a way that we can utilize AI to help us gain followers every single day. We're going to talk about how to gain 100 followers every day using ChatGPT. You can use Gemini, you can use Claude, you can use Grok, you can use whatever you want. But here's a prompt and here's a method that I'm going to try. I just put this segment together yesterday. I said, man, I want to try this. So this is on my agenda for today. It's an exercise and just see what happens. See what it tells you. I guarantee you it's going to give you some good ideas. So here we go. Take a photo of your full bio, showing your bio and your highlights. Take a photo of your feed and a photo of your Instagram reels. Now, if you don't have any Instagram reels, that's where you need to start. But if you don't have that many, it's okay. It's going to tell you what to do. Okay. Showing the number of views on your videos. Number two, download ChatGPT or use Gemini or Claude or Grok or whatever you want. Attach those 3 photos that you took of your profile, and now we're going to put it to the test. We're going to ask this AI to give us some recommendations. So here we go. Here's the prompt. Josie and I took down this prompt. We typed it out. We're going to put it in the comments of this video. So if you're watching the replay, you can copy it directly from the comments. We'll post it in the La Familia page so you can copy it directly and put it in your AI and see what happens.
And it's also in the chat for this recording as well. So if
Great.
you're with us, it's in the chat.
So you can copy it in the chat as well. So you have to remember that utilizing AI gives you expertise at your fingertips, and you can tell it what you want it to do, and you can tell it what you want it to act like. Act is the best digital strategist in the world, specializing in creating organic content for Instagram growth. These images are from my profile. I need you to do a complete deep analysis of what I need to do to improve, to get more views, more engagement, more followers. Guys, so speaking of the magic bullet, this is a magic bullet. How do I get more followers? Ask anybody who's on social media or trying to grow their business, what do they need? They need a bigger audience. So just remember that this is about growing your audience because that's your customer base. And it's not only about that audience that sees you, it's about everybody that they know. I got a call last week from someone. They said, I got your number from my cousin. I didn't even know who the cousin was. Maybe the cousin is on my Facebook feed. I have no idea. But remember, it's not only about that person that's seeing it, it's about everyone that they know. So here we go. My niche is whatever you want it to be. Military buyers, first-time buyers, retirement communities. Whatever your niche is, really think deep about who your ideal client is and put it in right there. And I want to gain at least 100 qualified followers every day. I want you to give me a complete strategic plan to grow followers by posting 1 reel a day. Now, you have to commit to this. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's not going to happen out of nowhere. You have to commit to putting the content out there. I think we can all agree that our customer base is online. We're not taking out newspaper ads. We're not taking out magazine ads. We're not doing anything like that. People are on their phone 24/7 of all ages. Young people, people in their 30s, 40s, people in their 50s, even people in their 70s are spending hours on social media every single day. Okay? So you have to commit 1 reel a day. Y'all think everyone can commit to 1 reel a day? Give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Okay, we got to do it, guys. It's a struggle. It's not easy. I wake up every day. I say, what can I share today? What piece of value can I offer today? What piece of entertainment? Remember, this is social. What's something fun? What's something neat? Think about it every single day and not just come see this 3-bed, 2-bath house. That ain't going to fly. Not in today's market, not in today's social atmosphere. People will just scroll right over it. People are tired of seeing that. Okay, so you have to commit. But this prompt will tell you what to post, when to post it, give you ideas, okay? I also want you to show me through the analysis everything I need to improve on my profile, improve my bio, my visual, my post titles, and give me a step-by-step guide on what I need to change, how to change it, and a complete action plan that makes my profile gain new followers every day. So putting more people into that funnel, more people into that database, more people into that followers list, it gives you a bigger pool to swim in. That's what we need. It's a numbers game. So everyone says, when we talk about this, I used to think about this because all these high level coaches were telling me it's numbers, it's conversations. How many conversations did you have today, this week? How long did you spend prospecting, reaching out to people, posting content, filming videos, doing whatever? I thought it was crazy, but it's only a crazy dream until you do it. And once you start getting in the flow of it, you'll start enjoying it. I look forward to it. I was talking with Josie today, and we're thinking about we want to start an area coffee, almost like an area coffee club. And we can invite prospective customers and prospective agents. And here's the cool part is even if no one goes, Josie and I love to go anyway. So we'll go to a coffee shop and we'll have a coffee and we'll film some content and we'll put out some some videos. So it's only a crazy dream until you do it. So use these prompts, use the tools that you have at your disposal, use AI, and it will help you grow. I have this conversation with new agents all the time. I'm sure, Daniel and Josie and Jennifer, they're probably tired of hearing me say stuff like this. But the question is always, well, how many people are following you online? How many friends do you have online? How many followers do you have on Instagram? How many followers do you, and I hate, believe me, I hate talking about stuff like this. And here's why. Okay. I'm gonna go old school here. Daniel and I, as y'all know, were musicians. And we took a lot of pride in what we did. We felt like we had good music. We felt like we had a good live show. We felt like we had it all together as far as, us as a band. We felt like we were right on the verge of something big. And we would try to go into these marketplaces and even locally, we were trying to get a gig locally, or we were trying to open for a national, or we were trying to do something. Daniel, what's the first thing that the club owner or the promoter would ask us? What's the first thing, Daniel?
How many people do you draw?
How many people do you draw? How many people can you bring? And it would make me so mad because they didn't care what we sounded like. We could have been the worst band in the world. But if I go to any club owner and I tell them we can pull 100 people on a Saturday night, they would book us like that. They wouldn't even care. It was numbers. I was trying to book us regionally. I'd reach out Austin, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, El Paso, Rio Grande Valley. I would talk to all these promoters. How many people can you bring, Alan? I was like, I don't know. We've never played here. You know what I mean? It's one of those catch-22s. People aren't going to give you a job without experience. Well, how do I get experience if I don't get the job? It was the same thing. So believe me, guys, this is not an easy conversation for me to have with agents because this used to be my Achilles heel for 20 years when I was playing music. How many people can you bring? But guys, let me tell you what. As soon as you address the elephant in the room and you realize that that is the key and you embrace it, that's how you can start growing. When you start, because really that's like me facing my fear. In real estate, how many conversations do you have? They don't care how good of an agent I am. They don't care how much I've sold. They don't care. That's what they call, Frank Kern calls it the invisible stranger. When I need business, I need to tap on the invisible stranger. Hey, I need some business. What is the invisible stranger? Your database. That's the number of people. We just had a freezing event in Texas, right? As y'all are probably still going through it. We're just coming out of it, hopefully in the next couple days. And I reached out to Daniel. I said, Daniel, here's a text message. I want you to send this text message to everybody in the area. And what was it concerning? Hey guys, I know we're going through some hard weather. I hope you and your family are staying safe. Hey, when things thaw out, y'all want to go see some homes? And we sent that to as many people as we could. And guess what? We got responses. And now I have people that I'm showing this week that responded to that. That's tapping the invisible stranger. I need some business. Okay, so what do y'all think? Y'all think this is helpful? What do y'all have to add? What other nuggets of information do y'all have? I know I'm just talking my head off, but I really get jazzed up about stuff like this, and I'm still mad that people didn't care about our music. They just wanted to know how many people we could bring. I remember the club owners. I can remember. I can see them right in front. How many people can you draw? Say, I don't know. We never played here before. This place is a dump. I don't know. Who wants to come here anyway? We just want to play. Because really, that's all we would want to do. Daniel, how many times would we play? And we would play our heart out. We would play. That's what they always teach you. Play to the audience that you want to play for. How many times, Daniel, did we play in front of the bartender?
Quite a few times.
Quite a few times. We literally would play our heart out in front of no one. And the bartender even left the room. We played in front of 0 people. And we had a great show. But who knew that it was a great show? Only us. Okay, so I still remember those days, and now I understand it. When you're a business owner, you have to look at volume. You have to look at how many people can you reach, because people move the money. Whether you're in a concert promoting business or you're in the real estate business, if you're in any type of sales, people move the money. So you need more people. The more people you have, the more money that can be moved. Cool. What do y'all have to say?
It even goes as simple as this. You remember John Craig in real estate school, Alan? And people asked, well, how do you get business? He was like, you know what? Forget all the frills. If I see someone, I go up close enough to them to touch them, and I just say, you know anyone looking to buy or sell? I'm happy to help. I'm a great agent. Can you
Yep.
think of anyone? And that was his main way of getting business. We like to complicate things, but it just comes down to asking for the business sometimes, you know, and
And we can't be afraid to ask for it. We can't be afraid. And everyone says, well, I don't want to be too pushy. I don't want to be too salesy. I don't want to, there's a real estate coach, and I'll find his video. For the life of me, I can't remember his name right now. But what I love the most, and he gets real crazy, and I'll find his video. He said, what if I told you you were 2,000 conversations away from $1 million? How fast would you want to have those 2,000 conversations? Because really, that's what it boils down to. The number of conversations will have a direct correlation to the amount of sales that you make. So, and he gets all mad. He says, I've been telling you since the 80s. You're 2,000 conversations away from $1 million. And he's yelling at this room full of people that I'm sure paid thousands of dollars to be in the room so that way he could yell at them. But sometimes that's what people need. Sometimes that kind of coaching resonates with certain people. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes people want a different method, but the concept remains the same. Cool. All right. Well, what kind of we'll go ahead and wrap up here with a little bit of Q&A. Does anyone have any questions or any kind of issues or obstacles that you're running into? Anything that we can help y'all with? Any kind of craziness going on in the real estate industry? There's always some craziness going on. Any questions?
What do you get the highest lead percentage from? From lead generations where you pay, like Zillow or Realtor.com or whatever, and you get leads, or just like you said, through media, or where's the highest amount of your leads come from? Or would
Sure.
you suggest?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And we were talking about this last night. There are everyone says, okay, if I need to hit a certain number, how do I hit that number? Is it through followers? Is it through videos? Is it through, what is the way to get that number? What is the way to generate these leads? And the real answer, Jennifer, is by any means necessary. Okay. Now, as far as where do we get our largest percentage, it comes from our investment back into our business. And, anytime you're looking at whether it be a restaurant, a retail store, a legal office, any kind of sales driven industry, the marketing budget is the most important budget. Now, there are a lot of agents that think, okay, well, posting on social media should equate to leads. That's not always true. You could have a large following and not generate any leads. But that boils down to what your strategy is. Because just like Daniel said, you can't be afraid to ask for the business. Now, you want to be putting out content that positions yourself as an expert, as giving value, as being a busy part of the industry, because that's what people are going to see. But at the end of it, you have to be ready and willing to reach out and, just like Daniel said, ask for the business. But once someone sees you and starts liking your content and you're commenting on theirs and back and forth, it makes things 100 times easier to ask for the business. So, Jennifer, to answer your question, most of our leads, and it's been a snowball effect over the course of time, because it takes time, but most of our leads have been generated from online leads, whether that's Google ads, Facebook ads, Zillow leads, realtor.com, whatever the paid avenue is. Yes, that has been our largest. However, over the course of working those leads, we've generated hundreds of referrals. So it helps you get your foot in the door whenever you can be put in front of somebody who's actively shopping or actively looking to sell, and you're connected with that person through paid marketing. It makes it a lot easier to then turn that person into an amazing referral source for you, because then you can ask them who they know, who they're working with, if they have other family, whatever the case might be. So, when Daniel and I learned what our previous brokers were doing, we knew that we had to do the same thing. And what they were doing is they were satisfying their numbers, and they said, look, if I need to talk to 1,000 people a month, how much would that cost me to get 1,000 calls coming in a month or 1,000 conversions coming in a month? And they would tell him, well, it's going to cost you X number of thousands of dollars. He says, okay, I'll write you a check. And he paid for it. And that model works because you're paying for the numbers. Okay. So I think Ernesto's coming in. Let me let him in, and that way we can at least say hello. Oh, no, he just left again. I don't know. Anyway, I'll get him on the phone after this. But anyway, so yeah, does that answer your question? The other thing, Jennifer, and this is this is a huge component of it. I had an online lead that I was showing properties to for well over a year. And I had just moved to Rio Grande Valley. I just moved to Los Fresnos, and he wanted to see all these houses in Brownsville over the course of an entire year. Now, most agents would have given up on him. I can guarantee that. But I used it as an excuse for me to not only learn the area, but I generated tons of content. I saw beautiful homes. I went to areas of town that I would have never gone to. So I learned a lot about the area. I learned about different neighborhoods. I got some great content. I shot some great videos of some beautiful homes. And I would have never gone through that if he wasn't, I mean, I showed him hundreds of houses, hundreds,
It gave that opportunity to really know that community and
for sure.
everything around it.
And you know what would happen, Liz? I would get other phone calls from people looking in those areas, and I had already been to the houses. So they would call, I want to see this house on whatever Lozoya Street, you know. I just saw Lozoya because that's Ernesto's last name. But there is a street called Lozoya. Um, I saw this house on Lozoya Street. I want to see Alan. Can you show it to me? And I'd be like, oh, I've been there.
Those
It's
are the best
beautiful.
conversations when you really know the inventory.
Oh man, talk about being able to impress. And then I would send them the video that I shot of the
Yeah.
house. Look, I shot a video for you. Well, I wouldn't say for you, but I shot a video of the property. Here's a video. And I'd send them a YouTube video. And they were like, wow, that was cool. I want to go see it. Oh, cool. So that breaks down the barrier. So in any business, you have to reinvest in yourself. The most important investment that anybody can make is in yourself. So I remember being Daniel and I were at a Mexican restaurant and he said, "Dude, we need to start spending money on marketing and we need to start putting some money behind buying some leads." And right, Daniel, I was against it. I was like, "Oh man, we don't have that kind of money. We're just getting started." He said, "We can start for $300 a month." I thought that was gonna kill me. I thought that was gonna cripple me because I didn't have $300 a month. And that said him and I were going to split it 150, 150. I didn't even have 150. I said, oh my God, I don't know how we're going to make this happen. And we had to do it. And we started from there.
Yeah,
You
because
have to start
our
somewhere.
last broker was spending 30,000 a month, but he was making 120,000 a month. So it's like, you always want to try to 3, 4, 5x your money. But he
And
was selling. Go ahead.
even when you're starting, I mean, I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money starting either, right? But and I was in a situation when I first started where I think most of us real estate agents start like this. If you've never been in a sales role, like a car salesman, or you're afraid to ask for that business. You're afraid to talk to people. You feel like you're bothering them, and the truth is, you're not bothering them. But that's how we feel as a new agent. And I broke that doing open houses in the very beginning, and it didn't take a ton. I just did a few open houses in the very beginning, and I will do this year with this home that I just listed right now. Um, I I did a Valentine's Day open house. So I went to the Dollar Tree and I put together a really cute basket, but I bought like a nice bottle of wine at Trader Joe's and a couple of chocolates and you know just with 10 bucks from Dollar Tree, I made this basket look like it was professional, right? And it turned out so cute, and even the stuff that I put in there was Valentine theme, right? The chocolates and the color, a bottle of wine and whatnot, right? It was kind of like a rose color. It was cute. Long story short, before I even started doing these open houses, I watched about 20 videos on how to do open houses because I did not want to do anything wrong. And I did not want to waste my time doing an open house either, being afraid and not really bringing the value of my. I wanted it to count. I'm going to spend a Sunday afternoon away from my family, putting out the signs, getting in there, setting everything up, turning on the candles so the house smells good, all this stuff, right? Then you're finished, you're in that open house 2, 3 hours. And, I like to do more than 2 hours. I like to do at least a three minimum, at least a 3 hour open house, but that's just a personal preference. I just feel like 2 hours is just, you go through all of that for 2 hours. I want people in, right? So, um, then you have to take out down all the signs, and then you get home, and then after all of that you're like, okay, I just need a break finally, even if nobody showed up to your open house. So I thought, I really want to make this count. I don't want to spend this 5 hours away from my family on a Sunday, which is valuable time for me, right? We don't get that back, and produce nothing out of that. So in those YouTube videos and I can't name the videos, this was 5, 6 years ago. There was one video that I will never forget, and this person say, make sure that of every person that shows up to your open house, you connect with one. Your goal is to make that one person your client, your buyer. Find a way to connect. And he gave examples of how to do that, right? And that's what I did at one of these open houses, at the Valentine's one. And this client that I'm selling their house, this is a third transaction that I'm having with this particular client that I met at that Valentine's open house 3 years ago. This is a third, I mean, was it three? No, it was 5 years ago. And I check in with them even before they would call me back. I check in with them. I did tiny little pop buys because they live so close by that I'm passing by anyways. I would drop something cute off the door, nothing expensive. Keep top of mind. They're like, Elizabeth, we didn't ever even think about going anywhere else. We trust you, we like you, and we know that you work hard. So that's, we didn't even, so just for me, when I was starting, open houses was a lot of time. It was a lot of time, but you've got to start somewhere without spending so much money up front, because we already spend so much money up front getting our fees squared away, getting our license squared away, getting your business card squared away, all these things that you just need just to start. Um, it's already taking a lot of your money. So now it's about putting in the time and a little bit of the elbow grease, is how I looked at it, and it worked. And I haven't done an open house in a while, but it's okay. It's a way to get in front of people. It's a way to also know, what are people asking these days? Do they really care about the rate? Do they really care about the price of the home? Do they really want to know how long homes are on the market? It kind of lets you, and you learn from all of that, because now you know more or less what people are going to ask you along the way, and you have answers. You're prepared. You have it at the top of your mind what to respond, versus kind of look into the sky and not know. Similar to how you did, Alan, you went, checked out all these communities, you knew exactly what was going on. You probably knew the nearest playground for people. Oh yeah, you have toddlers, okay, the playground's a quarter of a mile down the street. They knew that you knew what you're talking about, and people like that.
And the best thing you can do at an open house is find out what they're looking for and send them an MLS search that evening
Hmm.
with 25 options. They'll like three or four of them. You go show them three or four of them 2 days later and get them approved, and boom. And I also agree with Liz. I think that there are ways for you to get a handful of closings without spending a lot of money on advertising. Um, and then once you have, a few thousand to play with, set it aside and just start building a monthly little piggy bank that you can be dipping into to get auxiliary leads that way. So yeah, no, I think that's great advice.
Well, and I can 100% attest to this because it was a big sacrifice at the beginning, but here's the funny thing. I remember when we agreed with the initial investment, $300 a month. I remember the first call came in and I missed it. It was the first call from the money that we had spent that I was against spending, and a lead called and it came in and I missed the call. I felt like my world was going to end. You know what I mean? Because you don't pay attention to things until you have your own skin, literally in the game.
Yeah.
And when you see that call coming in and you know that that call is costing you money, you rush to it, you hop to it, you push people out of the way. I've been with Daniel at dinners with family, and a call comes in, and Daniel will have food in his mouth, and he stands up and walks away to take the call. When you have your skin in the game, your level of attention increases.
I remember my first call, I was on a river barge on the San Antonio River. And
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
Yeah.
you do whatever you can.
And
yeah.
it's hard to be a robot, right, and answer instantly in many situations. But this morning I woke up to an email. It was an email. Somebody's looking for a home. They're relocating to San Antonio, and they sent it to my EXP email address. So I'm thinking they searched somewhere within EXP and they found my EXP email, and they sent this email later on in the evening. It was past 8 o'clock their time. They're in Virginia, and I still need to verify all of this, right? But response time, I, rushed to get my, kids squared away for school, and I'm sitting in the drop off line. I asked GPT really quickly, draft an email to a potential home buyer who is looking to relocate to San Antonio. Boom, it gave me three very short paragraphs of exactly, it looked polished, it looked professional, and I made sure that I schemed it really quick, not just send it, right? Because then they will know that, I didn't really pay attention to what this email, right? So I schemed it. I didn't have to change anything. It was exactly how I would have written it had I had more time behind my desk to type it out. But I wasn't. I was in the car at the school drop off line, dropping off my kid. Boom. By 8:30 in the morning, this person already had a response first thing in the morning, because a lot of times it is response times and we can't be there every single time, but if you can, right now AI is making that very easy. Boom, I didn't have to even think about what to say. I signed it at the bottom with my name and phone number. I have my signature on there anyways, but still, and I sent it. So a lot of times people are looking into that as well. Are they going to be an effective communicator? Am I going to have to wait 2 days before this person gets back to me? Nah, I'll go on to the next.
Real quick, Liz, on that note, just make sure to verify this person's identity, because we actually had an identity theft deal. We had
Really?
photos taken on this listing and everything, and this person did not even own the property. So just
Wow.
that's one thing we've learned, like especially with fishy random emails like that.
Yes.
Get them on the phone, get them on Zoom, get them to send you their ID. Just
Yes.
to know that there's been some confusion going around. You just want to make sure that all is
Yeah.
clear.
And that's what I did. That's what that email said. I'd love a time to connect with you. And the only thing that I did add via phone call or Zoom conference. I would prefer
So
Zoom.
just real quick, there is a scam that's going around, emails going out to realtors saying, myself and spouse are looking for a home. We'd love to set up a Zoom with you to discuss a potential, to discuss the neighborhood. They make it sound really, really nice and good. Um, an agent will reply saying, sure, what time's good for you? They send you a Zoom link, and clicking on the Zoom link allows them immediate access to your personal information. So there have been a few realtors who have run into this email. I got one yesterday. I was getting them maybe a couple months ago. And if you get somebody who says like, oh, we saw this house, or we're looking in this neighborhood, we saw your listing, we saw this and this, love to connect with you via Zoom. I suggest replying saying, sure, I'd love to discuss this on phone with over the phone with you. What's a good number for you? If they still continuously push the Zoom account, like they'll say, oh, for properties or for, to discuss real estate needs, we're more comfortable on a Zoom. At that case, just do your due diligence. A lot of the times they're using Gmail accounts with the name, so they do look legit. But if they keep pushing a Zoom link on you, they're trying to get your personal information. So just be on the lookout. Be mindful that that scam is going out right now. Push for a phone call, push for a phone number. If they don't give it up and they still push a Zoom link coming from them, you can even say, sure, I'll provide you a Zoom link. If they keep providing you a Zoom link, just drop them like a hot pocket.
Okay, and that may very well be like this. It sounds that that's what this person said. My spouse and I were looking for a home. We're looking to relocate to San Antonio. They didn't provide a phone number or anything like that at the end of their email, address, uh, signature. So yeah,
I got that last
definitely.
night.
I
I
got
got
one
that
yesterday
exact
too.
email last night.
Yeah,
So
from
yeah,
like someone named
somebody's messing around.
Jordan. And you
Yeah,
always check the email and you're like, oh, is it a legit email? And they're making up Gmail accounts with
Gmails.
names
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah. This one was a Gmail. Yeah.
Hey guys, great call today. I gotta head out on showings, but y'all have a great week, and we'll see y'all on Tuesday. All right.
All right, guys. Yeah, we can go ahead and adjourn. Does anyone else have anything else to add? We're good to go? Okay, sounds good. And Jennifer, I have a method. I'll call you and tell you about it. I think you can generate some leads coming from your closing coming up here in the next couple of weeks. But I'll call you directly and maybe that could be the topic for next week. I'll go ahead and go through that play. There's a way to utilize the neighbors to generate some business when you have a closing coming up. So we'll put that on the agenda for next week. Okay, guys?
All right.
Y'all have a great rest of your day. Talk to y'all soon. Go sell something. All right. Bye, guys.